This is an analysis from Alpha Business Media. In Nepal, we're seeing a nation really caught between its incredible potential and this deep, profound social frustration. It's a place where democratic processes are being seriously tested by a growing mistrust in the entire political class. And this number, well, it tells a really powerful story. A staggering 68% of Nepalese believe their country is heading in the wrong direction, and they're pointing the finger directly at corruption and bad governance. That level of discontent isn't just a statistic, it's a political force in its own right. So this all raises a critical question, doesn't it? Is the political conversation we're seeing a genuine response to that frustration, a true voice of the people, or is it the result of sophisticated political technologies really designed to shape and channel that anger for somebody's political game? This is the core of what we're going to unpack. To really get a handle on this frustration, we first have to dissect what we can call a triple crisis that's shaping modern Nepal. It's a crisis of jobs, a crisis in the cost of living, and a crisis of justice. First up, the jobs crisis. 22.7%, that is the unemployment rate for young people in Nepal. Think about that. This figure is so dire that it forces around 1,700 young Nepalese to leave the country every single day just to find work. This isn't just a brain drain, it's a full-blown generational exodus.
Next is the cost of living, and this is where you see a huge disconnect. While the official statistics might show a pretty low inflation rate, the reality for everyday citizens is completely different. The price of mutton has jumped 40%, and the cost of other basics is just soaring. This paradox, where the official data just doesn't match people's lived experience, it fuels this deep economic anxiety and, frankly, a lot of mistrust.
The third crisis is all about justice. Nepal ranks 107th on the 2024 Corruption Perceptions Index. And get this, 84% of citizens see government corruption as a major problem. This isn't just about money changing hands. It's about a culture of impunity that completely undermines any faith in the state itself. And here's the thing. These crises aren't happening in a vacuum. They're all locked together in a vicious cycle. Political instability stops economic reform, which fuels the youth exodus. That mass migration then hurts domestic demand, and this chaotic environment allows corruption to thrive, which erodes public trust and just starts the whole cycle over again. So, with all this public anger just simmering, the big question is, how do political parties respond? Let's take a look at how they're packaging solutions for voters, especially in this battle between the old guard and the new political players. Well, on one hand, the old guard makes these huge economic promises, right? Things like creating 500,000 jobs a year or providing cradle-to-grave social security. But in stark contrast, you've got this new force, the Rastriya Swatantra Party, or RSP. They're offering something totally different. Not these broad economic promises, but specific, tangible, anti-corruption mechanisms. And this quote from its leader, Rabi Lamachane, it really says it all. This represents a massive strategic shift. The RSP has basically moved the political battlefield away from complex economics. Instead, they've focused their entire brand on one single, emotionally powerful issue: corruption. This brings us to the methods, because it's not just about the message anymore. It's about how that message gets delivered. So now we're going to look at the modern political toolkit that's being used to both measure and shape public opinion in Nepal. Okay, first, it's really important to understand this term, political technologies. It sounds a bit technical, but it's not just about social media. It's the whole suite of methods used to influence what we think and do, often in ways that feel completely natural to us as voters. The goal here is to engineer consent, not just to win an argument. So where is this all happening? Well, the primary arena for these technologies is now digital. With nearly half of Nepal's entire population on social media, platforms like Facebook and TikTok have become the central political battlefield. They completely bypass traditional media and talk directly to voters. But, and this is a big but, this digital space has a pretty hefty price tag. In the 2022 election, over $165,000 was spent on Facebook ads alone. And this reveals a real paradox. While social media can empower grassroots movements, an effective campaign requires a serious financial investment, creating a brand new kind of digital elite. And this all leads to the fundamental paradox of social media and politics. Yes, it empowers new parties and bypasses the old gatekeepers, but it also creates echo chambers. It costs a lot of money to be effective, and it can be a super powerful vehicle for propaganda. The very same tool that can amplify the voice of the people is also the most effective tool for technologically shaping that exact same voice. Okay, so let's circle all the way back to our central question. In Nepal's current political landscape, are we hearing a genuine voice, a manufactured echo, or maybe something in between? Our conclusion is this: the voice of public discontent is absolutely real. The anger over that triple crisis is authentic, it's raw. However, political technology is the engine that harnesses all of that emotional fuel and transforms it into votes. So the key takeaway here is that you can't really separate these two concepts anymore. They are completely intertwined. The public's legitimate grievances, that real crisis, have become the raw material for modern political campaigns. And the rise of new parties is a genuine response, but the methods they use rely on technology to channel that reaction into political power. The voice and the echo, they're now part of the very same sound wave. And that leaves us with a final and pretty critical question that extends far beyond Nepal. In this digital age, it's a defining challenge for democracy everywhere. When authentic discontent and sophisticated manipulation are so closely linked, how do we as citizens learn to hear the difference?